Hello, everyone. This is Deborah Owens coming to you with another episode of Wisdom for Today. And today I'm coming to you from our home. Bill's traveling, taking care of business, and I'm recuperating from some serious allergies that attacked me this week. We've had a lot of rain, and so forgive the congestion. But I wanted to share with you a revelation that I got about 2 days ago, and thinking about all the rioting and looting and all the mayhem that's still going on as a result of the murder of Breonna Taylor in Louisville, Kentucky. And I think it's still also a spillover from what happened to George Floyd and so many others. I think we've reached a point of a lot of pent-up frustration. And Bill and I have talked about this before. There is a need for police reform, and there are some what we would consider peaceful protesters who are trying to bring about social change. But we still are faced with the Antifa and the Black Lives Matter organization, which, to me, my opinion, they have a much more sinister agenda and goal in mind to destroy our institutions and transform America from the country that we know into something entirely different. And so something came to me, and it was confirmed on Friday, and I'll tell you what that confirmation was. But I was just kind of thinking about, why are we still enduring all of these seemingly days and nights of riots, looting, burning, innocent people being killed, innocent people's businesses and livelihoods being destroyed, just continued destruction in so many cities across our country. And it's happening, as been rightfully pointed out, in Democrat-run cities and states. And we talked about this too. Lack of leadership is definitely a problem. And so what came to me is, somebody needs to tell these people who are seemingly bent on destroying other people's lives and livelihoods, that the answer is not in destruction. The answer is in working with the police, working with your city council, working with your mayors, sitting down at the table and finding solutions. Getting a seat at the table is what's important. Destroying your own community and having these businesses close and leave and go somewhere else or not open again anywhere is not the answer. They're only hurting themselves and their own communities. And so the answer is working to find solutions, number one. Number two, the answer, in my opinion, anyone who attacks you and comes against you, and for me personally, when I feel like someone has wronged me or attacked me or did something to me that I just found very offensive or negative, my thing is always not necessarily to destroy anything, break things up, but to prove them wrong. And so one of the things that I think that the leadership should be stressing and pushing these young people who are out there destroying things is get an education. get a training, run for political office. You can always, even not just young people, there are grown people out there too, who are misguided. And so if you want to bring about change, bring about change starting with yourself. Don't go out there and destroy other people's livelihoods and businesses, as I said, but start with yourself. You can always run for office if you want to bring about change. Local office, state level office. You can become a state senator, state representative, a U.S. senator, U.S. representative, and change legislation. Start making policies that affects the things that you are against in your community or your city or your state. And start a foundation, start an organization, start a group, start a business. Do something positive. Do something that's going to help yourself and others. What they're doing is not working, and as I said, it's just much more sinister. It's a much more sinister agenda, and so I thought about that, and I said, somebody needs to sound the alarm and let them know, when it's all said and done, it's going to end sooner or later. It's going to end. Things are going to be burnt down. There's not going to be any stores. Business is going to leave. You're going to be left with void, vacant buildings, vacant lots, no beauty, no businesses, and that's going to be depressing. Instead of doing that, flip the script and do something entirely different than what people would be expecting you to do, and that is work with your state leaders, your local leaders, and find ways to bring about social change, social justice. So we need to do better as a community. I have watched for many years other communities. I grew up in New York and worked in Manhattan, and I got a chance to be around many cultures. And one thing that I noticed is that most of these different cultures, they tend to band together and stick together, and they would start a business together. Many of them sometimes would live in one house. Married couples would live in one house, and whoever had the baby first, whatever their methods were, they would pool together their resources and put that family in the house, and so on. And so I think the African American community, I think as a whole, we can learn from that and start pulling our resources together and opening up businesses and whatever, restaurants, whatever type of venture we can imagine. I think that that if we pooled our resources together, that we can do it. And to talk about the confirmation that I had in some of these thoughts that, I was trying to just figure out how can we as a community, do better and overcome what's seemingly going on. What's not seemingly going on, what is going on in our country. And on Friday, President Trump had Black Voices. There was a meeting called Black Voices for Trump. And Bill and I were invited to that. We got the invitation about 2 days before the event. Bill had already made his travel plans, and unfortunately, we couldn't attend. We would have loved to have been there, but President Trump made some great announcements, and a couple of the announcements that he made was right in line. I had no clue what he was going to announce. I had no way of knowing. We just were invited to hear him unveil the Platinum Plan for America, for Black America. And so just to highlight some of the things that he announced was he was going to have better access for capital to African Americans. I believe it's $500 billion of capital for people who, for African Americans who need capital. And so I thought, wow. That's right up what I was thinking. That's the answer. It's part of the answer. It's part of the solution to rioting and looting and getting mad that they say there's systemic racism, police brutality. I think that we do have issues with racism. We do need police reform. But I'm not one-sided in that. I know that you have white racists, you have black racists, and it's a heart matter. I'm not going to sit here and say that all white people are racist, all police are racist. I think that's misguided. That's wrong to say that. But President Trump is offering solutions. And another thing that he said was that he was going to and he's been fighting for school choice, and the Democrats, I don't understand how anybody could be against school choice. But yeah, more access for better schools for inner city children who are trapped in failing schools. That's part of the answer. That's one of the things that came to me. He also said he was going to create 3 million new jobs, and that he was going to help create 500,000 new businesses, if I'm quoting that correctly, but you can look it up. And those were some of the things that he mentioned. And so the answer to what's going on in our country, and I close, is to build, not tear down, to lift up, to do better, to be better. And I don't know why more leaders are not talking about that. I guess what's happening sells. I guess they depend on that emotion and anger and all of that. The politicians, I guess they depend on that to push their narrative, which is a false narrative. But I am just of the opinion that we can rise from this, we can do better, we can be better, and God expects us to be better and do better. And so let's commit to finding ways to work together, Black people. Let's commit to finding ways to working with even the police, the law enforcement. Let's find some solutions, and let's stop burning things down, destroying things, and hurting innocent people in your quest for social justice. And God is going to reveal and expose those people who are funding all of this, because some group we all know is behind this. And it's as I said, it's sinister, and it's for more power, and it's to keep Blacks, and they don't even understand it. It's to keep them locked into this thinking, and undervalued and underrepresented. And so I thank God that I'm able to use this platform to share my heart with our partners and our friends and supporters. And as I said, Bill is traveling, and so he'll be back in a few days. But I did want to just share my heart, share those thoughts. I hope it helps someone. And I want to ask that you continue to follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our website is caapusa.org. Be sure you go there and sign up for our newsletters, which are very informative. We get great reviews about our newsletters, which seek to educate people on the issues. And of course, we have our book, A Dream Derailed. If you've ordered a copy, we're asking you to take the time to go on Amazon and write a review so that more people can find our book. It's needed. It speaks a lot about as Bill said, it's almost prophetic. And he wrote the book. Took 2 years to write the book, and it came out last year, but it's almost prophetic for this day that we're in. So if you haven't gotten a copy, get a copy. And if you have received a copy and you've read the book and you enjoyed it, be sure to stop by Amazon and leave a review. So until next time, this is Deborah Owens with another episode of Wisdom for Today. God bless you until next time.